Hey everybody, this is Robot here from Vespa, Motorsport, and ScooterWest.com. So you probably stumbled across this because you may be interested or you already own a brand new BV400 or Beverly 400 as it's known in the rest of the world. They also have a 300cc version in other parts of the world with the same newer body style. So perfect opportunity to put a big windscreen like this is if you're riding your scooter every single day, you're out in the weather, in the cold, and you want the ultimate in weather protection. This is going to be far better than the factory windscreen. And of course, a windscreen this large, you're looking through it. But when you have a nice, fresh, brand new plexiglass windscreen, especially one from Faco that's made out of the best materials out of Italy, it's pretty clear and pretty unobtrusive when you are riding it, other than keeping the cold weather and the wind and the rain off you. So first of all, you're probably asking what the size is. I'm normally about 5 foot when I'm standing, so kind of average person. If you're like 6'4", it's totally gonna still protect you. Anything taller, you're probably are gonna start looking over it. And if you're shorter, it's gonna give you even more protection. So as you can see, this windscreen's rather large. You know, at the top, you're looking at about 17 inches wide. And the height of it, this is several inches taller than the stock windscreen. So you can see you're right about 20 inches tall. And the other added benefit of many of these large windscreens, they got these extra bat wings on the edge. They got this kind of cool silkscreen black in here too to kind of give a little style. This kicks the wind off your hands. It's kind of like built-in hand guards. So if you're wearing thin gloves on a cold, rainy day, it's going to be kicking more of that weather off your hands, or maybe you're riding with no gloves, which I don't recommend. Going to keep that cold air off your hands. So kind of that's what you get for these large ones. Of course, the downside is you're always looking through plexiglass. You got to keep it clean. And at the end of this video, I'll show you how to keep these clean. And on a hot day, you feel like you're in a hot bubble because there's not much air getting kicked around here. In some ways, you get air kicked over and it'll feel like it's pushing you forward because you get like a turbulence that will push you forward. A very different feel than being out in the open on a scooter or motorcycle with no windscreen or just a small fly screen. So let's get right to it. Installation, very, very simple. You just need a pry tool if you need to pry those things off, and a 6mm Allen key. Unfortunately, this kit includes the Allen key. If you're wondering what the part number on this is, on the Scooter West website, BV40016F. It's made by Faco out of Italy. The best thing about Faco is they're known for quality windscreens at a inexpensive price, not nearly as expensive as many of the OEM original Piaggio options, but still a decent quality windshield. If you have the factory windscreen, of course, remove all the hardware, the glass and everything for the factory windscreen, including the goalpost. If you have no windscreen on it, you're going to have these caps still in place, and use a pry tool, such as the Scooter West trim. The tool trim is with the whole set of these inexpensive pry tools. Go ahead and remove these little covers. Of course, you want to keep them if you ever do remove your windscreen for some reason. And at this point, you have a new set of goalposts for that new windscreen. And you can see there's a left and a right for these. So the rubber grommet, you kind of pull it up. And typically I like to get the screw in there. And it starts threading kind of with the angle back. So almost like, I would say about 20 degrees back. And go ahead and start it by hand. At that point, continue tightening it down. And if you're wondering what the hardware is, it's an M10. There's two M10 fasteners. They're like kind of Allen, and they do move around a little bit. And I leave them, just a little bit loose because you can make little adjustments when we do the fine tuning on the windscreen. So you have that washer in place, and drop it down the goalpost, and then go ahead and start threading it in place here. So go ahead and take these 4 plastic windshield mounts right here and just drop them on. They don't take too much effort. to slide onto these goal posts here. So these plastic mounting screws, they go ahead and separate from this injection molding tree here. Pretty easy, just give them a little twist. And same goes with these grommets. There's two sizes of grommet. There's a larger grommet and a smaller grommet. And go ahead and separate the larger grommets first. There's gonna be 4 of the larger grommets. Go ahead, you have a flat side of the grommet and a side with the 2 grooves in it. These buttons actually kind of snap right in place. Go ahead and thread the screw right through or just push it through. And go ahead and prep all 4 of them just like this. So this job may be best to be done with 2 people. So take those assemblies that you made and go ahead and stick one in. And at this point, you have 2 sides of this rubber grommet. So the side with the 2 grooves faces back towards you. So you may want to prep all 4 of them. Just get them kind of set up. And I'm trying to do this one-handed. Of course, doing this on a table is a little easier. You know, obviously on like a old beach towel or some sort, you know, just to prevent scratching this windshield blade. So at this point, you want to get them started. So start with the top, and you may want to have your 6mm Allen handy and start threading this in place. So another thing you could do is just actually get it started here just like that. And once you got it a couple turns, go ahead and drop it back on. And the same over on this side. So, and of course you could put a rag underneath it, kind of hold up, but your best bet is to have another helper hold the windshield as you're doing the assembly. Go ahead and get these up to the uppermost section of the goal post as a starting point, and just tighten it right until it has some friction on the goal post, you know, and kind of holds the windshield in place. So, and since they're just plastic screws, they don't take much effort to do so. And of course, once you got it in place, it's a lot easier because now you can just put these right in position, kind of do some minor adjustments to get them all lined up. And don't tighten them all the way, because like I said, there's a lot of adjustability in these windscreens. You can see it all kind of moves around. We can move it up or down. They're just, you want to make sure it's symmetrical looking. So now that you got the windscreen kind of all in place, you could do some minor adjustments. You know, these can move down, you know, get the windshield a little closer to the headlight, and try to keep everything symmetrical. You can adjust it side to side to get it symmetrical, you know, left and right. You can see there's these little cutouts for where the mirrors kind of come through. And kind of once you got it in a good spot, you can just go ahead and just give these a small tightening. This is the included Allen wrench. The reason it's short is you do not need to over tighten any of these fasteners. They just need to be snug. You may want to keep this little Allen wrench in your toolkit of the scooter. And then the final tightening is these pair that go into the handlebars here. And these ones you do want to go a little tighter. You may want to use a little bit larger Allen key to get a little bit more torque on there. All right, so there you have it. Pretty basic and easy and simple to install. Nice and easy to remove. It's just 2 fasteners. Now that you have the windshield all assembled, you can just take the 2 fasteners for the goal post off and remove the whole windscreen rather quickly, like within a minute. For instance, you're going on a nice hot summer day, you don't really want the windscreen in the way. Maybe it's a cold day, you want to pop it back in place. Once it's all set up and these are all tight, you're pretty much good to go. And every once in a while you do want to check these. With the large windscreen like this, it's always important to keep it clear. Faco makes this out of a newer style cast acrylic that is very clear. It's a little clearer than some of the older windscreens. It's about an 1/8 inch thick. You don't really see much of the edges of the windscreen, me sitting behind it. Got a lot of light glaring, but it's not really affecting it too much. One thing also to keep in mind with these large windscreens, if you park this in direct sunlight, the sun rays coming through it sometimes can, the windshield acts like a small magnifying lens or a large magnifying lens, and it could warp the plastics where the speedometer and handlebars are. And oftentimes if you're out on a very sunny day, I'll take something like a microfiber rag and just drape it right over the speedometer. I just like doing that anyways because I don't really want my speedometer getting faded by the sun if I have it parked outside. So that's one way to do it. And also with something that's this large that you're looking through, it's pretty important to keep it clean. You certainly don't want to use paper towels at the gas station to clean it up. Your best bet's always going to be Plexus. That's going to be the best plexiglass cleaner you could use. It kind of has like some compound that fills in the real small swirls, and of course a really clean microfiber rag. If you're on a pinch, you can actually use the wood polish Pledge. That's real popular for cleaning plexiglass windscreens. And if you don't like any of these labels, they're all on here. They all are very easy to remove. Obviously they got a warning that tells you about the sun rays that could go right through this larger windscreen. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. This is Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. Check out my other video for the Faco Sport fly screen. It's a perfect summer windscreen to install on your BV400. And until next time, Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com here in San Diego.